Guitar Hero was created at Harmonix between 2004 and 2005. We shipped in 2005 on PlayStation 2. And the reason we made the game was because Harmonix had a mission, which was to bring the joy of making music to everybody. And we felt that making music was this profoundly enjoyable thing that not everybody had access to, because learning to play a musical instrument can be so difficult. And so Guitar Hero was Harmonix's latest response to that problem, latest attempt to try and kind of bring the joy of making music to everybody. And from a game mechanics point of view, the design principles were to emphasize musicianship and showmanship, and to do it with a light touch, because our level designers were the likes of Jimi Hendrix. We didn't want to get in their way. We just wanted to take a light touch with the game mechanics and directly connect players to the music. So there's not much that I'd personally change about the core gameplay of Guitar Hero. I think it worked out great. But because this was a game played with a guitar peripheral, the menu navigation wasn't as straightforward as it is in almost every other game. In fact, it was probably the biggest barrier to entry, I think, for new players. And we knew this at the time, but we were on a very short development cycle, 9 months to make Guitar Hero. And we just didn't have time to really experiment with alternatives. But if we had a do-over and had time to look at that question, it's something that I'd be interested in trying to find a better solution to. Well, the game that I wish I'd designed is Super Mario Kart on Super Nintendo. Kart games are something of a cliche these days, but this was the first one, and it did something special. It blended racing with weapons and with a huge boost of accessibility. This was a game that anyone could play, and yet it still had interesting depth for players who played it a lot. So it was good for the casual crowd and for the kind of hardcore gamer crowd. The game that I'm currently playing is Need for Speed Most Wanted on PlayStation Vita. Those guys at Criterion really know how to make an arcade racer. In fact, their Burnout meter in the Burnout games directly inspired the Star Power meter in Guitar Hero. So we knew that we needed some kind of strategic element to keep the gameplay interesting in Guitar Hero, and I enjoyed playing Burnout a lot and realized that their kind of resource approach to building up a power-up could work great in Guitar Hero. So we ended up doing something pretty similar. I think the future of video games is about greater democratization of the act of making video games. So these days already, it's true that with the App Store and tools like Unity, one bedroom programmer can not just make a game, but can distribute it themselves to the rest of the world. That's phenomenal, that's fantastic. I think it's just the start. And I think that there's tools in the pipeline that I've been playing with. Construct 2 is one of them, that brings that power into the hands of artists. It makes the coding much easier than current tools. And I think we're soon going to get to a point where a one-bedroom artist, not just a one-bedroom coder, can create and distribute a game to the rest of the world. And that'll be a big milestone. And there'll be millions and millions more games to play when that happens. And I also think that's just a transitionary milestone. I think that the big, fantastic Uber goal that I hope somebody cracks is to give everybody the capability to make and distribute games. Just like anybody can write a blog post and send it around the world, I think anybody should be able to make a game and share it with their friends. And then we'll just have, many more interesting cultural, personal reflections on the world around us through video games.